since time began has the primitive scene been captured for the screen with such imaginative realism. See the fascinating, strange, and fearful creatures who roamed and ruled the earth 1,000,000 years BC. The Brontosaurus, a moving mountain of flesh and bone. The pterodactyl. The flesh-eating Allosaurus. The Triceratops, a horned dinosaur in battle with the savage Ceratosaurus. You will share the unending thrills and excitement of a world of primitive wonders.
Fantastic dinosaurs of the movies. Dinosaur, the Greek word for terrible lizard. Man's fascination with dinosaurs goes back centuries. The more we learn about them, the more we want to know. All over the country, people flock to museums to stare in wonder at giant skeletons or travel to dinosaur parks where they can see life-size models of these ancient monsters. Even the sites where bones are found have become famous tourist attractions, like here at the La Brea Tar Pits in California. And if you can't go to the dinosaur can come to you in a traveling show that brings lifelike animated model dinosaurs to cities all over the country. But with all our science, the dinosaurs are still a mystery. These huge creatures ruled the Earth for over 100 million years, and then suddenly, they were gone. Was it the Ice Age that killed off the dinosaur? Nobody really knows. There are a lot of myths which have been created around dinosaurs. The most common one was that they were prehistoric man's mortal enemy. But the truth is that the dinosaurs were long gone before man first came on the scene. The fact is, for most of us, what we think about dinosaurs, we picked up in the movies. And the movies picked up on dinosaurs very fast. Like this example from around 1909, Gertie the Dinosaur, one of the world's first animated cartoons. Gertie was just the beginning. Audiences actually thought they were looking at real dinosaurs in the 1925 movie, The Lost World. Special effects pioneer Willis O'Brien and a dedicated staff worked for hundreds of hours, painstakingly animating the model dinosaurs frame by frame, creating their lifelike effect. O'Brien later went on to delight future generations with his creation of King Kong. Special effect masters like Ray Harryhausen and Jim Danforth carried on the tradition set forth by Willis O'Brien. And it wasn't long before lifelike dinosaurs gave way to pop monsters like Godzilla. The public's endless thirst for more and more dinosaurs has also led to a succession of semi-dinosaurs, like dragons or giant insects, lizards of all shapes and sizes, and assorted monsters.
Beyond this door lies a world of wonders. A studio where special effects wizard Ray Harryhausen and producer Charles Schneer make the unreal real in the magic of Dinorama for countless moviegoers. They are discussing Kali, the six-armed goddess who matches swords with the legendary Sinbad in their latest voyage into the unknown. Remember some of their previous films? Here's a giant crab of Jules Verne's Mysterious Island. This alligator was a tough opponent in the three worlds of Gulliver, to say the least. And this bee created a frightening hive in Mysterious Island. A regiment of skeletons came to life in Jason and the Argonauts. In their new film, The Golden Voyage of Sinbad, Schneer and Harryhausen move from the drawing board to a sunny beach in Majorca. This beach isn't as lonely as you might think. The film crew and a group of holiday sunbathers are on hand to watch. This is how the landing will look in the finished film against a highly imaginative background of ancient cliff carvings. As you can see, there's a real live Sinbad played by John Philip Law, as well as the lovely Caroline Munro, who shares his adventures. They are entering the fantastic cave in which they are about to do their first scene. No stuntman for this Sinbad. John Philip Law has to climb a 75-foot rope in this daring scene. Meanwhile, back on the beach, Caroline poses for some magazine pinups, technically and figuratively out of costume. But in the dressing room, she's being prepared to meet a horde of mysterious green men from the island of Lemuria, with this result. The really difficult work starts when Harryhausen has to make this evil homunculus come to life. Tom Baker plays Kura, Sinbad's arch enemy, and his little playmate does his evil bidding. How does one create a disembodied oracle? Well, it's simple when you know how. What about this centaur, half man and half horse? What are the odds when a griffin meets a centaur in mortal combat? Who will triumph in this struggle to the death? You remember Kali? 6 arms, 6 swords, ready to take on all comers? A fair fight if I've ever seen one. The Golden Voyage finished, Ray Harryhausen plans his next fantastic adventure for millions of moviegoers. A few years from now, you may be joining this mysterious stranger on another exciting journey into a world of wonders, courtesy of Charles Schneer and Ray Harryhausen.
Come travel with these 4 adventurous boys as they explore the past in an exciting expedition that takes them 300 million years back through the ages in their journey to the beginning of time. An extraordinary recreation of history, acclaimed by Dr. Edwin H. Colbert of the American Museum of Natural History as absolutely authentic. A thrilling and enlightening adventure story of the development of life on Earth.
Look out! They've seen us! Here they come! Watch out! Why, that was close! We didn't have to worry anyhow. It says here in my notes that they only eat fish.
Oh, sure. That's because they never tasted a boy before.
See the Stegosaurus, the Trachodon, the Brontosaurus, the Mammoth. All of them, and many other amazements of the past, come spectacularly alive in this fantastic film, Journey to the Beginning of Time.
greatest moment of your lives. There it is, directly ahead. A body of land uplifted by volcanic eruption 100 million years ago.
Yes, you're heading out of this world. By jet airliner, by hydroplane, by helicopter, into the wildest of all jungles, into the forbidding headwaters of the Amazon. With Michael Rennie, Jill St. John, David Hedison, Claude Rains, Fernando Lamas, and Frosty the Poodle, as they discover a primitive world exactly the way it was at the dawn of time, in the most fantastic of adventure stories.
For me, the story started 3 years ago when Burton White came to me. He told me of how in some Indian village out here in the jungle, he'd met a fever-stricken white man who babbled on about a plateau with monsters and diamonds.
Here is the most amazing of all possible worlds.
Johnny!
You'll see man-eating vines that lure their prey, spiders as tall as trees, hair-raising attack by prehistoric monsters, Battle of the Titans to the death, the most terrible creatures of destruction that ever walked the earth. You'll flee through grotesque underground mazes from cannibals who demand human sacrifice.
Sacrifice?
The place they undoubtedly planned to kill you.
No, not me, please, no!
You'll be among the first mortals to cross the graveyard of the damned. You'll scale the incredible wall of death. You'll face the terrors of the Cave of Fire, with its lake of molten lava, its fabulous pyramid of diamonds. And you'll be stunned by the horrifying 100-foot fire monster that guards a king's ransom in treasure.
The explosive birth of a strange new world, the planet Nova, millions of miles away in the eerie silence of outer space. Man's rocket takeoff on an amazing voyage of exploration with a strange crew of 4 daring adventurers on board. A professor from an American university, a biochemist to run tests on whatever life exists, a doctor to check the known and the unknown medical data, a mineralogist to search for the radioactive materials that gave this new world birth. See their terrifying battle with savage beasts never known on Earth. The wild fear when mankind is brought face to face with giant mastodons from eons long past. A prehistoric world comes to life again today, millions of miles away in space. The horror of huge maddened monsters raging for the kill. The Battle of the Titans.
Hand me that berry pistol.
Are you thinking of Ralph and Pat?
I hate to bring them into this. It's our only way out of here.
Gentlemen, we are witnessing a biological chain reaction, a geometrical progression of deadly menace.
It had started casually, insignificantly, as momentous events often do.
Look there. 2 points off the port bow.
The giant behemoth, the fire-spitting monster predicted in the Bible. Its core a mass of lethal radiation. Rising from the depths of time, its strength enormous, its gargantuan ferocity a threat to London, to the world itself.
We must find a way of destroying this creature in one piece.
Judging by the beast's size, I would say it was powerful enough to drive a battleship.
Of course, its tremendous electric charge is what projects the radiation.
Cavern of unknown horrors. Listen.
What's that noise?
I don't know.
See, the only existing specimen of a spider, bigger than a human.
Men had better find out what made this creature so big, and find out fast, or we're all going to be in pretty serious trouble.
For shocking, skin-crawling excitement, meet face to face 50 creeping of black.
This engine's still warm.
Say, did you see the skid marks out here? They go at a direct right angle to the direction of travel.
No digs in the macadam either. Somebody was hurt. There's blood all over this thing.
What is this black menace that kills everything it sees and hears? No human mind could imagine the enormous destructive power of this maddened, killing thing. If you're young people in love, look out. If you're driving a lonely road, you're as good as dead.
There's been a lot of livestock missing lately. That doesn't make headlines, but now it's people.
Never in the history of the United States, a monster of such size and power and horrifying hatred of man.
Loch Ness. Deep, dark, cold, frightening. Not to those living on its shores, but to those outsiders who threaten its world-famous secret, the Loch Ness Monster, this is a warning. There is something in these waters. And it is alive. The Loch Ness Horror.
Is the greatest unsolved mystery of our time.
They call her a monster.
And still they come. The curious, the thrill seekers, the scientists, the hunters who would kill for profit.
Shorty, I tell you, she's out there.
Now she is fighting back. And no one is safe.
Easy.
Monster's got...
At last, the world's most treasured story comes to the screen.
American International presents The Land of Time Forgotten. an astounding motion picture based on the book by Edgar Rice Burroughs, creator of Tarzan and the most thrilling science fiction stories ever written. Travel through an underwater passage and discover an awesome prehistoric world. Fight for your life against the terrifying creatures of a lost continent. Come face to face with primitive man and learn the secret of evolution, the land that time forgot.
Mr. Taylor!
Starring Doug McClure. It's action, danger, and adventure on an epic scale.
How much longer do we give them?
We're not leaving without them! Forget Kibble!
You will never forget Edgar Rice Burroughs' The Land That Time Forgot.
Those were the days when giants roamed the countryside. It was at such a time that a young farmer, single-handed, fought and overcame one of the most fearsome giants who ever ravaged the land. After 3 years in the making, Hollywood brings you the amazing story of Jack's adventures and the fabulous dangers he encountered when he dared to set himself up against the Black Prince of all witches, Pendragon. Pendragon had carried off the princess, held her under a magic spell, and now used his mighty powers to keep Jack from saving her. See Jack's terrific ordeal with the Witches of the Wind. His wondrous duel with the armored warriors of the Dragon's Teeth. His encounter with the monstrous two-headed giant. See the enchanted doll that came to life and made a princess dance with joy. Sail with Jack the Giant Killer. Share his thrilling adventures on the high seas. Meet his young friend Peter, Sigurd the Viking, and the lovable imp of the bottle.
A little toy man.
It's such an leprechaun. A toy, you say? Oh, for that there'll be the devil to pay.
See his face-to-face clash with Pendragon himself. And above all, don't miss Jack's gigantic battle with the Flying Harpy. You'll agree, Jack the Giant Killer is the greatest.
A tidal wave of terror engulfs the screen as a raging monster from the dawn of creation attacks the world of man.
Here, gentlemen, is your villa.
Would take an enormous number of those to disable a Navy submarine.
Or just one of enormous size, Mr. Chase.
Reels under Holocaust as the men and weapons of the atomic age battle to the death against the ageless monster of the deep.
Yes, cities, nations, even civilization itself, threatened with annihilation. Because in one moment of history-making violence, nature, mad, rampant, wrought its most awesome creation. But born in that swirling inferno of radioactive dust were things so horrible, so terrifying, so hideous. There is no word to describe them.
We may be witnesses to a biblical prophecy come true, and there shall be destruction and darkness come upon creation, and the beast shall reign over the earth.
Yes, the earth, the skies above and the seas below, infested by swarms of nightmare creatures, crueler, deadlier than the armored giants of prehistoric eras. Here is a wild, headlong flight into terror as the desert erupts with the grim battle for survival. Here is a fear-frenzied moment of suspense as mankind totters before a thing that multiplies faster than it can be killed. Here is a desperate plunge into the black depths of the earth, where human courage challenges the brute force, the slashing jaws, the poison fangs that guard the subterranean nest where the beast spawns its terrible progeny.
To all units, condition red. Drain 267 is the target area. Repeat, condition red. Drain 267 is the target area.
We could use?
No, we can't take a chance. It might poison the whole city.
And upheaval in a strange world. As a comet runs wild among the planets of the universe.
This catastrophe, whatever it was, has thrown the Earth into a new orbit.
No, this whole thing is unbelievable.
Challenged by furious forces of nature that defy explanation. A forgotten world of dark jungles, barren deserts, Stone Age mountains, and the Valley of the Dragons, alive with primordial animals. The menace of cavemen, gorilla people, underground demons.
What kind of a nightmare world is this?
A world of the past. 100,000 years past.
The Valley of the Dragons, where beast attacks beast, man fights man, and both battle each other. Prehistoric monsters out of the past bring new thrills in the Valley of the Dragons.
King of the monsters. It's alive.
A gigantic beast.
Stalking the earth, crushing all before it.
In a cyclonic cavalcade of electrifying horror.
Raging through the streets on a rampage of total destruction.
Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Incredible titan of terror.
Wiping out a city of 6 million in a holocaust of flame.
Jet flames cannot destroy it.
Bombs cannot kill it.
All modern weapons fail.
Is this the end of our civilization?
Can the scientists of the world find a way to stop this creature?
For the answer, see Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
You may wish to deny it, but your eyes tell you it's true.
A tale to stun the mind.
More fantastic than any ever written by Jules Verne.
more terrifying than any ever shown on the screen. Awesome, incredible, unbelievable, a story beyond your wildest dreams. Dynamic fun, savage action, spectacular thrills, Godzilla, king of the monsters. Fantastic beyond comprehension, gripping beyond compare, astounding beyond belief. See Godzilla!
It's got one of the planes. It's coming after me.
Mitch.
There it is now. Attacking the United Nations building.
Bird's after us. Chasing us. How are you doing? For God's sake, hurry, man. It's catching up with us fast.
What if circumstances were to magnify one of them in size and strength, took it out of its primitive world and turned it loose in ours? Then expect something that's fiercer, more cruel and deadly than anything that ever walked the earth.
Even science was stunned. The new atomic miracle should have been mankind's greatest boon. Instead, when such power to cause phenomenal growth proved dangerously unstable, man was confronted with his most shocking blunder.
The isotope triggered our nutrients into a nightmare.
A blunder that transformed a tiny insect into the 100-foot spider that was now ravaging the panic-stricken countryside.
Airship XY-21, which crashed into the Mediterranean Sea on the 11th, was a single-stage, astral-propelled rocket launched 13 months ago from a site within the United States. The rocket, with its complement of 17 men, had landed on the planet Venus.
Venus?
The planet Venus?
Some of you may also have heard the story of a monster now confined here in Rome Zoo. That beast is from Venus.
Careful those electric cables. First
Misericordia!
Power's gone.
It looks innocent as a gigantic egg, but its unseen powers are so great that its worshippers beg the thing's indulgence in self-abasing ceremonies.
Took some tools and went where no human being had ever set foot. Alone. Went into the interior of the earth.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is James Mason. Come along with Pat Boone and me, Arlene Dole, Diane Baker, and Gertrude the Duck, and discover sights and sounds and wonders no living man has ever witnessed before, filmed in the incomparable magic of CinemaScope. We'll take our leave of civilization on the bleak, barren wastes of Iceland, peer in awe at the bottomless crater of an uncharted volcano, make the perilous descent into the unknown. You'll pioneer with us through countless miles of trackless labyrinths, discover huge subterranean caverns never beheld by human eye, become lost in the weird underground maze. You'll find yourself engulfed in grotesque, petrified jungles, marvel at the fantastically beautiful quartz grotto, tumble into cascading salt beds, escape from hissing steam caves, behold the staggering underground ocean. You'll encounter breathtaking dangers beyond belief.
Shuddering terror that strikes deep into the minds and bodies of these residents of a remote mountain community.
We're up against something here that goes against every natural law.
Crater Lake Monster, a creature from the dawn of time, unleashed by a freak of nature to prey on an unsuspecting world. Out of this lake, carved in the high mountains, is spawned one of the most hideous beasts from the birth of time. Crater Lake Monster, a motion picture of unrelenting suspense, fright, and panic. Crater Lake Monster, a beast more frightening than your most terrifying nightmare. Crater Lake Monster. Prepare yourself for the horror sensation of the year. Filmed in incredible new Phantomation. Crater Lake Monster.
I want to tell you about one of the most unusual, most spectacular motion pictures ever made. Shot in Moorish Spain. Truly an Arabian Nights setting for the most dazzling of all the Arabian Nights adventures. The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. In settings like these, the cameras have created breathless spectacles. Let me show you what happens when Sinbad, the most celebrated adventurer of all times, takes his most thrilling voyage. Here he is as he comes eye to eye with the Cyclops.
Parissa!
Sinbad, here I am, here on the pillow.
10,000 devils. What evil sorcery is this?
Every time I see scenes from the Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, I keep wondering, how did they do it? How did they create the very creatures described in the tales of the Arabian Nights? They explained to me that it's done through a new movie-making process called Dynamation. But please don't ask me what it is. All I do is sit back and enjoy it. Let's sit back now and watch some more Dynamation magic.
Look out! Kill him.
By this time, you've seen a lot of Sinbad, played by a very handsome young actor named Kerwin Matthews. As dashing a swashbuckler as you've seen around since Douglas Fairbanks Sr. He's strong enough to carry me with just one finger.
You must try, Princess. It's our only hope.
But don't think I play all my scenes with Kerwin this way. Some of the time, I'm a real big girl.
For another such kiss, I'd invent a whole continent.
Oh, there's more, much more in the Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. There are sights you never saw before, or even dreamed of.
You have just seen a special preview of the new miracle process, Dynamation, which will be introduced to the screen in Columbia Pictures' The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, starring Kerwin Matthews and Catherine Grant, co-starring Richard Eyre as the Genie of the Magic Lamp, with Torrin Thatcher.
The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad is the 8th wonder of the screen. Monster of monsters, big as a skyscraper. When he moves, the whole earth quivers and quakes, and an abyss of horror opens up. See these prehistoric beasts emerge from the bowels of the earth after 200 million years to devastate mankind. Supersonic jets cannot catch him. Rockets cannot stop him. Armored tanks quakes are helpless before him. Even guided missiles are powerless. See Rodin destroy a modern city, leveling it to the earth with a killing airstream of his mighty wings. Nothing can stop him. Nothing escapes this monstrous beast of evil.
I say there are things better left unsolved.
Who knows what waits for us in nature's no man's land?
Impossible, unbelievable, fantastic. But I tell you, it could happen. It could happen. It could happen. It could happen.
Yes, it could happen. For various authorities believe that buried somewhere under the polar ice cap, in a state of suspended animation, are the awesome creatures, the leviathans that roamed the earth at the dawn of time. And under certain conditions, a nuclear explosion could free one from his icy tomb. The beast, the beast, the beast from 20,000 fathoms.
Herald Square, 34th Street, Broadway. Every section of the city is guarded. No one knows where the monster will strike next.
Another one, Colonel? No. You know where the radioactive isotope is?
No, but if it can be loaded, I can fire it.
I'll load it. Just remember one thing. This is the only isotope of its kind this side of Oak Ridge, so you can't miss.
You have been invited here to see for yourselves one of the most amazing events in the annals of scientific history.
Reptilicus, a monstrous, massive beast whose astounding appearance causes panic.
Approaching the city. Repeat, Reptilicus approaching the city.
This is Grayson. All units. Fire at will. Reptilicus, an annihilating mastodon, immune to all known weapons of warfare, creating chaos such as mankind has never before known.
In 1947, the bird expedition to the South Pole reported a warm water oasis deep inside the icy Antarctic. This is the story of another expedition and of what might be found, what might happen today in that remote, unexplored last frontier on Earth. Unchanged since prehistoric times, the land unknown. Could man have survived in the dinosaur age of mighty monsters? Shudder at history's most ferocious killer, Tyrannosaurus Rex. The battle of the great Stegosauri. Huge carnivorous man-eating plants. The incredible water monster, Elasmosaurus.
Oh, we'll never get out of here, Alan. Never, never, never.
Stop it, do you hear me? Stop it. This doesn't sound like you. We're not licked yet.
That's how I rule them.
Where's the wreck? Talk.
You're gonna rot here.
Jason and the Argonauts, the classic story of an epic voyage that has been told and retold since the birth of Western civilization, now presented on the screen for the first time.
Pull! Pull! Till your hearts crack and your backs break!
Jason and his band of Argonauts, the mightiest warriors the world of adventure has ever known, in search of the fabulous magic golden fleece.
Where will you find this miracle?
I have heard there is a tree at the end of the world, with a fleece of gold hanging in its branches. Here is the magnificent excitement of that legendary time when men like gods and gods like men lived and loved violently. Todd Armstrong and Nancy Kovac portray the classic lovers. Jason, the man who challenges the gods. Medea, who betrays a kingdom for love. Acastus, driven by a lust for power. Hera, goddess and woman, who defies the might of Zeus, king of the gods, who unleashes his fury at rebellious mortals. The Argonauts, caught in the clutches of the towering bronze giant Talos. The Argonauts, battling vulturous harpies. Jason, threatened by the seven-headed Hydra. Medea, the temple dancer, mysterious, exciting, and exotic. Jason, battling the army of skeletons.
Kill, kill, kill them all!
One man defying a universe of mortal and immortal dangers. Jason and the Argonauts. A search that became a legend.
Nothing the screen has ever shown before can surpass the thrills of Ghidra, the three-headed monster. Created from an atomic fireball hurled from outer space, Ghidra, the three-headed monster, threatens man's very existence on Earth. Ghidra, the three-headed monster, battles Godzilla, Mothra, and Rodan for mastery of the world. Men quake before the terror of their unleashed fury. All new, all never to be forgotten. A new high in screen terror.
Take the most terrifying journey of your life. 4,000 miles into the center of the Earth, Edgar Rice burrows at the Earth's core, moved by creatures beyond your wildest nightmares. Humans of another age, preyed upon by monstrous giants. Behind a barrier of molten lava, winged creatures like guardians of the gates of hell.
Watch him, David.
Starring Doug McClure, Peter Cushing, Caroline Munro. Edgar Rice burrows at the Earth's core. Rated PG.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you are about to see has never been seen before by human eyes.
Professor, there's a big lizard back there, and he's heading his way. Now, get aboard!
Get Spears! Get Spears!
Picture of our time has ever unleashed shock spectacle of such scope and realism as up from the depths of prehistoric mystery rages Virgo. The headlines of the world blaze the fabulous story of this monster from another age, catapulted from some vast sub-ocean cavern by unprecedented volcanic action. And the headlines scream the story of the reckless skin divers who captured the monster and put it on exhibition.
Stop! Pull out! Drop the net! What do you think you're doing?
Hey, take it easy.
came to let him go back to the sea where he belongs.
Why?
Maybe to save your silly skins for you.
Hurry, hurry, hurry to see Gogo.
But the headlines do not record the story of a little boy who had a curious sympathy and understanding for the fantastic creature. What strange secret does he know that scientists only suspect?
You trying to say there may be a fully grown one of these things around somewhere? How big would a full-grown one be?
An approximate guess. The infant, the adult.
That would make it nearly 200 feet tall.
Wreaking terrible vengeance against the civilization that has captured its offspring. Towering over the cities of the world as millions flee its awesome terror.
Prepare! Prepare while you still can!
Nothing can stop it. Defying the force of the army. The might of the Navy.
Fire number 1, Harry.
Ready to open fire, sir. Fire 1.
Even the fury of the jets. In a crashing crescendo of sights never before beheld by human eyes, and adventures never before experienced by any man or woman.
Weird, wonderful, the stuff for which movies were made. Adventure, to make you wonder if it's true, while your eyes convince you that it is. Truly, the thrill of thrills. Don't miss it this time.
That's what everybody thinks who's never been there.
Skipper, believe it or not, there's a little calm.
How little?
where sensuous maidens offer themselves in ritual sacrifice to his brute embrace.
Godzilla has a brain about this size. He is sheer brute force. While Kong is a thinking animal. His brain is considerably larger, about 10 times the size of this gorilla's skull. Being instinctive rivals, there is no doubt that they will attempt to destroy one another.
King Kong versus Godzilla, heading for their colossal collision, shattering every obstacle that stands between them in the most fantastic rampage of annihilation ever recorded on film. See King Kong stamp Tokyo into the ground, holding a beautiful girl in his grasp. See Godzilla destroy an entire army. See King Kong trapped by the blazing barrier of 1 billion volts. But nothing, nobody can stop the great showdown when King Kong and Godzilla meet to fight for survival of the fittest.
1 million years BC erupts on the screen with volcanic excitement. 1 million years BC, when the earth parted and the mountains fell. Primitive man fought each other to inherit the earth. Since time began has the primitive scene been captured for the screen with such imaginative realism. Behold man 1 million years BC. Introducing the fabulous Raquel Welch, the sensational star discovery of this or any other year in 1 million years BC. See her as Loana the Fair One, who deserted her tribe and risked her life to follow Tumac of the Rock People. John Richardson as Tumac, as big and strong as the beasts he fought for survival. Nupondi the Wild One, whom no man could resist. See the fascinating, strange, and fearful creatures who roamed and ruled the earth 1 million years BC. The Brontosaurus, a moving mountain of flesh and bone. The pterodactyl, a flying reptile with giant teeth. The flesh-eating Allosaurus. The Triceratops, a horned dinosaur in battle with the savage Ceratosaurus. You will share the unending thrills and excitement of a world of primitive wonders, of primeval terror and savagery. You will indeed live in another world, in another time, as the centuries fall back to reveal the Earth 1 million years BC. Introducing the fabulous Raquel Welch as Loana the Fair One. John Richardson as Tumac. When dinosaurs ruled the earth. This is the time, the very beginning, before man was master, when the moon wrenched a place for itself in the heavens.
when men lived in fear, and the color of a woman's hair decided who should be sacrificed. Starring Victoria Betry, who could tame any man. Who could even train man's deadliest enemy.
Necro!
This is the time of unimaginable dangers. Danger from above, danger from below, danger from every living thing in this primitive world.